I believe that it's time to announce our new speaker. So our next topic covers biometric trends and today's impact on security solutions. The implementation of trending biometric technology is all around us, expanding quickly and becoming a part of ordinary life. Today, there is a diverse market, thriving trends, and applications for biometric technology, most of which seem to be growing rapidly. We greet our next speaker, Mr. Samuel Muñoz, project manager, ZKTeco, who is working for more than 10 years as a project manager in security companies leading international projects. Mr. Muñoz, you can take the stage.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Muñoz.
Okay, great. Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, thank you so much for inviting me to this fantastic summit. Okay, so let me share with you my presentation to start. Okay, So thank you so much. Okay, before starting, let me say congratulations to all Adria organization staff involved. Due to it's not so easy nowadays to handle this kind of this kind of exhibition, especially nowadays with the COVID situation. So to handle this kind of exhibition remotely, involving so many people online, so I can say only congratulations for the organization. Okay. So my presentation is related to the biometrics trends and what is the impact today related to the security, or what are the key factors to keep in mind related to biometrics, and what are the latest algorithm or techniques for biometrics. Okay. So maybe you know our company ZKTeco. ZKTeco is a algorithm manufacturer, not only from the software side, but also from the hardware side. And this is why I want to, as a product manager on the area of biometrics, I want to present these slides, okay? So I divide my presentation into, I split in 4 different points. So the first one is biometric and the history. So at this point, I want to share with you very key points in the history that makes the biometrics important. And the second one is it's an overview of the biometrics and the trends. So in this chapter, I want to share with you what is the basics to need to understand related to biometrics, to understand what is the trendy algorithm, or why is biometrics is getting so popular nowadays. The third one is the security impacts. You know, nowadays biometrics, especially after the COVID situation, biometrics, especially the touchless solution, is getting more and more popular. And the last part is for the question and answer. Okay, we try to reserve at least 5 minutes in order to reply all your questions. Okay, let's start. Let's start with the biometrics and history, okay? So in this first presentation, in this first slide is start like a piece of a story, a piece of biometrics story, okay? Before explaining, we are as humans dealing with biometrics for a long time ago, okay? Let me remind you 4 key points to keep in mind, okay? The first point is the word itself, biometrics. So biometrics is coming from the Greek period. It's the join of 2 words. The one is the bio, meaning the life, and the other one is the metrics, to measure. At the end, it's like as the science that allows you to measure your body, your body. The second important point is the business transaction and security as use cases, okay? So you can see later, so how important is in the past. The business transaction, so the way or how to make a good deal. And the other one is the security aspect in order to identify guilty people and criminals. So automatic biometric system have only become available over the last few decades due to significant advantage of the field of computer processing. This is very important, okay? As soon as the computer processing is getting more and more powerful, we are able to implement more powerful and high accuracy algorithm. And the last point you need to keep in mind is there are so many new automatic techniques based in the ideas for a long time ago, or ideas that were convincing 100, even 1,000 years ago. In this picture, this is the Asian age, sorry. So you can see on the left side how Greek, in Greek period, or even in Mesopotamia, people make like stamps, okay, made of clay, in order to save their fingerprint. The idea of this is to make a deal, okay? It's like your signature in a contract. So this is why this is the first important thing. This is related to the business. The other important point is related to security. So in the right image, you can see a record from Chinese dynasty, okay? So 200 century, 200 years before the Christus. So they include a guilty people or criminal in a collection of fingerprints in order to identify who commit or who make any let's say, criminal action. Okay, the idea is to identify and record guilty people or criminal individuals. So this is before Christus. So in the modern age, so going to the 19th century, okay, you can find here handprint or fingerprints made by Herschel. We can consider Herschel like a father, European father in this case, European father for the fingerprint, and not only for the fingerprint, but also for the palm print. Okay, in the image you can see the fingerprint as well as the palm print to be recorded as because the important thing as the fingerprint is always they are unique and permanent. After the Herschel implement this solution for Europe, he moved to India because Herschel belongs to the British Army. And in India, he implemented a solution for fingerprint to make a deal, to sign a contract. Okay, so thanks for Herschel, nowadays we have both solutions. The fingerprint not only for sign a contract, but also for identify people in the case of criminal or guilty. And the father of facial recognition, this is Alphonsine Bertillon, okay? He was a French police officer, okay? He was a researcher in biometrics, and also he's a very important anthropology. So coming from their research, they implement a solution collecting different people pictures. Okay. In fact, Alphonse Bertillon, let's say, invent the max shot. The max shot is a very popular picture you can see when someone entering in the jail, taking the picture from the side and taking the picture from the front. So until that moment, the criminal were only able to be identified by name. So at that point, police has a tool to identify people by face. My second chapter, Biometrics Overview and Trends. In this chapter, after reviewing a brief story of biometrics, let me share with all of you key points to understand first how biometrics works, and the second why it gets so popular for a long time ago. So starting from the basics, so what is the biometric template? Okay, let me read the definition. It's the resulting map of minutia points is simply a set of coordinates that computer can quickly search and using matching algorithm to return a score. Okay, at the end, what is a biometric template? Biometric template is a collection of data extracting for the fingerprint. In this case, is the fingerprint extracting, fingerprint recognition, but only extracting the essential information. So why is so important to say that essential information? Essential information means after applying any fingerprint algorithm, the information cannot be restored. This is very important. It means you apply an algorithm in order to create the template, and template is a collection of points. A collection of points coding in binary code. But from this template in binary code, it's not possible to revert or to restore to the original fingerprint image. This is very important in order to the privacy, in order to prevent identities. The second important point is how biometric works. In this graphic or in this flow chart, you can find any biometrics type system, okay? Because all the biometric systems work like this. Okay, you have a sensor that generally acquires a picture, depending on, for example, if we are talking about the voice, for sure is collecting the voice or collecting the sounds or audios. After that, the information coming from the sensor is going to the pre-processing. Pre-processing means it's like a mini processor in order to help to the algorithm to make it faster. And the key point for any biometric system is the feature extractor. Okay, at this point is when we create, let's say, the minutia, the maps. Okay, let me go back to this one. So you can see here the minutia points or the minutia maps. So at this point, the feature extractor is in charge of extracting this information. Then apply the algorithm in order to create the template. So in the process of biometrics, there are two different steps. One is the enrollment and the other one is the matching. The enrollment is the process to store the templates in a database. And the matching is the process to identify any individual after applying the algorithm, comparing with the template stored in the database. So in order to make it clear, you can see here both processes, okay? The enrollment and the matching. On the top, you can see the enrollment. In this case, imagine you are in the cross-border and the official say you, please enroll your fingerprint, and you need to punch for fingerprint. Then the algorithm extracts your biometrics information. This is biometrics template, and this information will be stored in a centralized database. On the other hand, you need to identify yourself. For example, once you are already enrolled in a system, you just need to punch your fingerprint. At that moment, the algorithm extracts your fingerprint template, and this will be comparing with the ones in database. If the comparison is with all of the individual in the database, we call this one-to-n comparison, means one people is comparing with all the rest of the templates in the database. But sometimes previously, the individual identify himself, for example, using an ID card with a number. So at that moment, you are telling the algorithm that you are you. Okay, so just at that moment, the algorithm is comparing just with your own templation database. Okay, so the result of this comparison is an scoring, is an scoring, it's a value, it's a percentage of confidence. So depending on the threshold you set, you can say the match is correct or not, it's rejected. So at the end, the result is if you are you or if you are or you are not in the database or the finger is not correct. So biometrics has been trendy. I think it has been trendy because let me go back to the 4 key points to keep in mind in the previous point, okay? So coming to the previous slide, let me reply here on every point, understanding why biometrics is so popular for a long time ago, okay? Then it's like this. So biometrics war. So why has been trending? Or since ancient age to nowadays, biometrics is still being in use. So can I say biometrics is still in use or trendy or popular for a long time ago, even from the Greek period. Talking about the case of use or the use cases since ancient age to nowadays, those have been main uses. Okay, no matter in the past, no matter today, businesses when you are paying with your mobile phone in the banking, and also when you are crossing the border for immigration, for example, you are traveling to USA or you are traveling to China, for example, you need to use your fingerprint to identify. So both main cases, main uses are still being trendy. So automatic biometrics. So for sure, now is the time for automatic biometrics or advanced biometrics solution. Why? Because nowadays the power of the processor is getting so higher, and even more, the price is decreasing so fast. So this is very good for the biometrics industry in order to make embedded and more powerful embedded processor. And the last one is the new automatic techniques, for sure. Many, as you can see in the previous slides, fingerprint, palm print, or even facial recognition are not new at all. So were applied last 1 century ago. So were applied at least 1 century ago. So this is the time to be implemented better and faster. So this is why it's very important. The knowledge of in this case, most of these algorithms are based in the network, in the neural network. So I will explain later. But the good thing is the combination with the powerful processor in order to achieve success in algorithms and make it more accurate. Related to the uses, the main use cases for biometric technologies, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So most of them are the most popular, but for sure there are so many in the middle, or there are so many that you can combine in order to achieve. So at the end, there are other use cases surrounding those one. However, you can find here the most important: the law enforcement and public security, like the identify a criminal, the military in order to identify the enemy, the border and migration control. So when you are traveling to other country, the civil identification, just your ID card is stored in templates, for example, or to use to vote in an elections. Healthcare and subsidiary, I guess this solution will be very popular since the COVID, okay, in order to identify the patient and also the beneficiary. Physical and logic access, this is the regular case of use case, okay, in order to open a door, for example, or in order to grant access to your PC computer, for example. You have an external USB in order to identify, and also you can have a camera in order to recognize your face. And the biggest one is the commercial application nowadays, since the mobile phone appears and biometrics was embedded in the mobile. You can see this. So type of biometrics, we should divide into two different ones. The one is related to the physics, and the other one is related to the behavior. Okay, so you can see here so many. So I can add, for example, Retina one, and the other one is getting more and more popular nowadays. Is a combination of two: the fingerprint. The beam print combined with the PAL print. We call this PAL vein. So later I will explain you how the PAL vein works, for example, in the case of ZKTeco. Another one is getting more and more popular is the gate, or how you speak. But for sure, all related to the touchless solution are getting more and more popular. So people is rejecting touch solution. So I think in few years, maybe it's not a fully prediction, but I guess pulp vein will replace the fingerprint. So why biometrics gets trendy? So the advantage of the biometrics for sure is universal, so it's easy to use. At the end, you cannot forget your biometrics because it's a part of you, it's a part of your body. It's unique. This is very important, okay? So meaning secure. It's permanent. So you can save money for sure. It's permanent, yeah, and it's always with you. You don't need any card, RFID card, and you can lose many times. So it's for sure it's cheapest and it's saving money. Recallable, because once you enroll the templates, you have the template inside the device. You just need to punch whatever you use, PAL, fingerprint, or face. They don't need to remember any password or any PIN number. And for sure, it's measurable. Okay, allowing the feature comparison, meaning it's flexible for the feature and very fast. So why is biometrics gets trendy? Because of the following, okay? We are facing a different type of fraud related to the document, identified the thieves, terrorists, and cybercrime. So internal regulations are changing very, very, very fast in order to make secure the civilization. So new security solutions are being implemented. Biometrics is the most practical means of identifying and authenticating individuals. And the most important is reliable and fast way. Okay, this is very important, reliable. People trust in biometrics. And for sure, the use of this in public is increasing very fast. So the increase of the public acceptance is very, very important in order to make the algorithm more accurate, and also to get a better price in order to reduce the pricing of the sensor, not only the fingerprint, the facial embedded, the camera IP, or whatever. So this is the global picture for the market. Okay, let me go faster because 23 minutes. Okay, so the market for the biometrics is getting very fast. It's around 20% increasing every year. So non-AFIS product means is not included the device, the system for automatic fingerprint identification you use in the control model. So for me, this one of the reasons is because the mobile devices, okay, are getting very, very popular, mobile banking. But for sure, after the COVID, we need to review this prospection or this forecast, because I think biometrics is getting just the double. I think it's achieving around $100 billion in 2025 because of the COVID and the touchless solution. So the security impacts. So one of the security point is the GDPR. Okay, before the GDPR in 2018, there is no any clear regulation. After that, after GDPR appears, there is a regulation clear related to biometric. Okay, so this is, in fact, this is good. Okay, related to your biometric data is good. So promoting the highest security level to handle biometrics templates properly, such as use of anonymous data, secure communication, increases the communication based on HTTPS, SSL like a method to connect and to the device. It's very important. So the most important thing, you can collect the biometric template, yes, but for sure you need to ask for the consent, and you need to collect only the essential information regarding the use you want to apply. After the COVID scenario, after the COVID, there are so many cases that are getting popular. So in the jails, in social benefits, so and the people who is working at home in order to identify. In telemedicine, okay, telesolution in order to identify the patient and the doctor. In the workers working at home in order to log into the correct system, the corporate network. At the end, you can see here so many actions that for sure after COVID will be very popular. But the most important thing is most of them are not contact modalities, touchless solution. This is why I want to present you two different solutions based on the face recognition and the palm recognition. But all of this is thanks for the computer vision. Computer vision is a technology that allows you to extract information, really fantastic information, good decision for the algorithm from the picture. Okay, this computer vision exists for a long time ago. In fact, neural network appears 15 years or 16 years ago, but it's not possible to afford at that time. So this is after the processor get more powerful, you can apply this kind of techniques. And the other one is multimodal. Okay, multimodal means nowadays we can apply different different techniques in order to identify people. For example, palm plus face, fingerprint plus face. And also the same biometric with different sensors. For example, in our case, we extract in place from the visible light camera and the near infrared camera. So this is two examples of our technology. This is our latest technology related to the facial recognition device that allows.
Mr. Muñoz, just to remind you, 2 more minutes.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much. Okay, so the important thing related to the security. So the algorithm should be anti-spoofing. Okay, it's not able to be tricked by a picture, to be tricked by a silicon, to be tricked by a video. Okay, so if you have any question related to the deep algorithm, I will explain later. This is the face recognition, and the other one is the palm recognition. I want to explain this deeply because we are combining 3 different templates. Okay, one is the palm recognition, the other one is the palm print, the shape of the hand. The shape is the one, the palm print is the other, and the vein on your hands is the other one. So we combine all three in one template in order to make it faster and very secure, able to recognize the people with the palm in less than 0.35 seconds. So thanks to the computer vision and the convolutional neural algorithm, we are able to implement this solution. So sorry. Okay, questions?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Muñoz.
Oh, sorry,
We have time
20,
for one
29
question
and
for
25
visitors
seconds.
or
Sorry.
other questions. We can call them to arrange meeting with you, of course,
Okay,
through our
yes.
platform. Okay, so the question is there any difference between the percentage of usage of different biometric systems? For example, fingerprint and iris recognition and like that?
So, in fact, most of the biometrics works in the same way. The important thing is to use the important for you. I mean, the most important thing is to use the proper way to identify depending on your requirement. For example, for me, iris is a verification that requires that the people stay inside in front of the device for a long time. So, and the other one, for example, touchless solution like Palvein requires just to look at the device and that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Muñoz, for your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much.